main purpose of doing the double D-edge knives is make sure that you don't go, very fast, okay? You just go up and down like this. Make sure you keep your angle is already given to you, okay? So angles are very important when you're sharpening knives, but your angle is right there. So all you do is just go up and down, as you see over here, okay? This is a new knife, of course. I usually, as I said, will cut first the leather before I start with it. Mr. Jones, let me see how sharp this knife is. And I'll cut the rope, and you'll see that it won't cut through. Okay, it might take you 4 strokes, 11 strokes, and then I will do it, and naturally, and after I finish doing it, I'll just go through it and make sure that it's cutting nice and clean, and it goes right through in 1 stroke. That's basically, seeing again is believing. On the other side, you have to, the way the knife gets dull is that the tips roll over, okay, and that's how it starts to create a little drag when you cut, especially if they're using the wrong surfaces to cut on, the wrong cutting boards. That's always something that you want to teach your customers. If they're using glass, Corningware, anything like that, that's a no-no. If this doesn't give, in other words, the cutting board doesn't give, then the edge is going to give. Something's got to give, okay? So it's either the knives or the cutting boards. So if it has to scratch, wood, plastics are usually the best because you can also clean them and so forth. So it's important to teach them things like that, okay, so they're not going to dull immediately after you leave there also. All right, so but anyway, you go up and down like that, and then on the other side, the flat side goes on the side that is flat, that the double the edge is flat. And you do the same thing. You go up and down the same way. Keep the knife straight, okay? This is your angle. That's all you have to concentrate, and just go up and down, not taking very long strokes, very short, up and down like this with the double D edge. Okay? And as I said, if the knife really needs a little more care, you have to do a little longer test it before, make sure that it's going through, and at the same time, switch over to these stones if you want to give that final touch to the white stones. Okay, and if they don't need it, if you see that it's getting through in about 2 or 3 strokes, you all you really need is just these stones. All right, but if it's taking more, than 5 to 10 strokes, like that, then I would start with the other ones on the double the edge. Now, as far as this straight edge, you do the same thing. Straight edges, of course, dull are much faster, as you know, because they don't have the protection of the teeth, that's basically why they'll dull. After 5 to 10 strokes on a hard surface, you can really dull a straight edge knife. Not Cutco, but most straight edge knives. But you have to let the customer know that. So they naturally should be sharpened more frequently, and they should do themselves from the sharpener, getting out the burrs, and keep a straight edge for them. But since you're there and you're servicing them, the way to do the straight edges, you start with the corners first, okay? And again, use the same thing. You might start with these stones that they're really dull, and then transfer it over to these. Okay, but you always start with your corners first. Okay, the way you do it is you do a little bit differently. You start at the beginning, and by the time you get down to the bottom, you have to go through the whole edge, and you go from side to side. Whatever you do on one side, you must do on the other side. Okay, if you want it, sometimes you can even take 2 or 3 strokes over here if you want to, and then you do 2 or 3 the same amount on this side, and then reduce it to 2 if you need to, and then eventually reduce it to 1, according to a bed that needs it. Okay, so just keep, at the end you just do 1 and 1, just the way you see me do it like that, okay? That's basically, very easy to do. Okay, any questions?
We're going to have to save questions for another day. And I'll talk with, ladies and gentlemen, Gina Leocadi. So, we're going to wrap up in a moment. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way. Ah, right way. Okay. Awesome. So, here's the thing. This is easy to learn. It takes about 5-10 minutes. You kind of have an idea. You do want to practice before you go into Mrs. Jones's house. My mom has this one really scratched up knife. Sorry. Because I was practicing. So here's the next step. Here's the next step. If you would like to learn and really be trained in how to do this, there are 2 things you need to do. The first thing is to read the
manual.
The second thing is this. We are going to have a conference call, a training conference call that I will be leading. And it is going to be on Monday, February 2nd, the day after the Super Bowl. Monday, February 2nd. And it's going to be at 10 o'clock, from 10 to about 10:45, but leave room in your schedule to go to 11 if you need it. Now, on this conference call, only the first 96 people who show up will get on. So don't be number 97. You will not get on the conference call. It's literally, that's how the line works. I believe the number is where, Jay? Where, Jay? Where's the number? Is it on a sheet somewhere? It's on a sheet somewhere. Is it? What? I have no clue what you're saying.